Hey, good evening. It's John again. I'm going to be playing Immaculate Grid, but this video will be a little bit different than my previous videos. I already recorded a video of me playing, and I messed up, which I've done before, so it's certainly nothing new. I've missed getting the Immaculate Grid before. This is probably the worst one, but that's not why I didn't just go ahead and post it. Um, After I got actually a couple wrong, and I just kind of filled in. The rest as with correct answers and took my bad score, and I was gonna like go ahead just upload it, but then I realized I didn't provide any commentary or insight or really anything else on like a couple of the grid squares, so I wasn't really fulfilling the purpose of this video, which you can go other places and they'll just show someone filling out the grid and trying to go for the perfect score. For this case, like I really like walking through these things, and I realized I probably just because I, my I was in my head about messing up a couple of them that I didn't do that with a couple of the squares, so it wouldn't make for very good content. I think it does make for very good content if I mess it up once in a while, and you might still get that. But in any event, I'm gonna start sharing. I can even share the where I messed up. I'll incorporate that into the video because it's pretty stupid. But I'll start sharing now. Let's see. I had to open it in Chrome because I usually use Edge to distinguish it. You can even see my grid. Uh, Actually, I can only see my grid in that view, but gonna play now. So we've got 20 win season pitching. We've got 200 strikeout season also pitching. This should be a pretty easy one, which makes my futility that much more hilarious. And then we've got the Mets, the Blue Jays, the Rangers, and the Tigers. So with that being said, top right, just right off the bat, is a grid buster. I had said in my previous iteration of this video, and I was correct. The one thing I got right was that um the Rangers have only had three 20-game winners, and this is and I listed them all. They were Fergie Jenkins in at least the one season I'm thinking of is 1974. He might have done it other times. Obviously, he's better known with the Cubs, but played a few years there with the Rangers. He finished second in the Cy Young voting in 1974, which is talked about in Mike Shropshire's book, The Last Real Season, which is about the 75 season, but it starts with the awards in the 74 season. So Ferguson Jenkins, Hall of Famer. Then you got Kevin Brown, who was one of the better pitchers in baseball for about a 5-year stretch. He won 20 games as a Ranger before that stretch started. And then if you go back, um, or not go back, you go forward to the late 90s, I believe 98. Rick Helling won 20 games with an ERA in the high fours, which is just the reality of if you're a younger fan, this that might sound crazy to you, but steroid era baseball with the Texas Rangers back in those days, yeah, you had a lot of games that ended 9-7. So not a surprise that Rick Helling was able to cobble together 20 wins. I think Aaron Seeley also had like almost a 20-win season in similar circumstances. So, but didn't quite get to 20. I think Aaron Seeley was at 19, either that year or the year after. In any event, I think Helling did prove to be the best one, and that one I did pick. I think Brown and Jenkins probably split about 40% each, and then he's at 16. I also had a pretty good pick for this one. I picked a guy named Schoolboy Ro. And the reason I even came up with that, I'd never heard of this guy before a couple days ago, but Jessica Brand, who doesn't make videos, but she plays every day and she posts on Twitter. Um, she had picked him for Tigers All-Star. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. And uh, I was just like, who the heck is Schoolboy Ro? I looked him up. He was in fact a 20-game winner. So that's one. I'll just change it up for this one. Some other options that'll work. Jack Morris will work. Jack Morris will also work here. Um, let's see. Denny McLain won 31 games in the 1968 season. The one I'm gonna go with is the one who won the got the glory in the 1968 World Series, and then had a 20-game season, I think 3 or 4 years later, and that's Mickey Lulich. So get him in there. That's not nearly as good as Schoolboy. Schoolboy Ro was like 0.2%. So that one's not quite as good. So here's where I messed up. Here's where I messed up. For whatever reason, maybe I thought this said All-Star, or I who knows, but I went with Ben Sheets. I said, hey, I know Ben Sheets had a 200 strikeout season in there. And, I'm a Brewers fan. I got a soft spot in my heart for Ben Sheets, but that was obviously not right because Ben Sheets played with some of the worst offenses uh, ever. Probably not ever, but definitely some of the worst offenses in baseball from '01 to '04. In fact, look up Ben Sheets' '04 season. He goes 12-14 with a 2.70 ERA, which must have Rick Helling cackling a little bit. But that was who I went with. Terrible pick, obviously. So let's see if we can come up with a better one. I think in the video I went John Smoltz for his '96 season. Um, some other ones that I think the most popular was Randy Johnson. Again, this isn't as fun because I already saw the picks, but Randy Johnson is a frequent one. Nolan Ryan will work. He won 20 games a couple times. Roger Clemens will work. Roger Clemens would also work over here. But I'll keep Clemens in the back of my mind. I'll probably pick some, just keep going then. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think if I could go more obscure than that. Someone like Rick Sutcliffe won 20 games one year. I don't know if he got to 200 strikeouts though. Um, Roy Halladay would work here, so he might work here. I'm pretty sure he works here. He definitely had over 200 strikeouts at least a couple times. Uh, Cliff Lee. I wonder if in the '08 season he would work. Jake Arrieta is a good recent one. So I'm listing guys, and there's probably 50 or 60 people who will work here. So um, any number of options. Here's who I'm gonna go with. I am gonna go with an Office character because I love The Office. It's a funny show. And also Mike Scott's 1986 season was pretty incredible one. So let's go with that. 0.2%. All right. So that was better than Smoltz. Smoltz was about 2% when I picked him. And it's better than Ben Sheets because Ben Sheets never won 20 games or anything even remotely close to it. I'll also share that because I'm a Brewers fan, I have a soft spot in my heart for Darryl Hamilton, who played, I think, a year with Texas and then was traded from the Rockies to the Mets in the 1999 season, having spent some time before that with San Francisco. So that was my pickup here. I knew he'd been with both teams. I think I threw David Cone on this one. Um, you figure Tom Seaver's going to work, Dwight Gooden's going to work, Cone is going to work, Dickey is going to work. Well, no, actually, I don't know if Ari Dickey's going to work. He's a knuckleballer. Maybe he works. Maybe he struck out a lot of guys. I'm not sure about Al Leiter. I'm not sure about Mike Hampton. DeGrom. I'm sorry. DeGrom definitely works for this. So that's 5 or 6 guys. I don't know about Jerry Koosman. Maybe he works. I think of those. Well, I picked Cone and he was at like 3 or 4%. Um, he might be the best one of the ones I've listed so far. Um, and then over here for the Blue Jays, Roger Clemens would definitely work. I think Pat Henkin would work. Oh, this was where else I messed up. So I'll just share it here. I might have, if I hadn't had that absolute mess up on Ben Sheets, I might have gone with the guess of Dave Stieb here and messed up, or I did go with the guess of Dave Stieb and messed up, and that might have been what cost me my Immaculate grid if I hadn't messed up over here. So Dave Stieb does not work. So I know that again, I have an unfair advantage playing this. I'm playing this for the second time, being fourth right there. So um, the big thing is I don't think I ever got to an answer on either of these, and I want to try to come up with something. So we'll see if I can do that. In the meantime, I think I can't say with any degree of confidence that Al Leiter or Mike Hampton got to 200 strikeouts. Nolan Ryan was traded away from the Mets. He would work here, but he was traded away from the Mets before he could get to before he really started pitching a lot and winning and getting 200 strikeouts. Um, I think Cone was the right pick. Maybe he was the right pick. That's what I went with after having messed it up. Kind of want to go with someone else though. Um, Maybe I'll come back to that one. And then over here, Halliday, Clemens, maybe Romero, Ricky Romero. I think he had a lot of strikeouts. AJ Burnett, maybe. Lots. I'm realizing 200 strikeouts isn't one that I can say with a whole ton of confidence. All right, let's go over here. We got Blue Jays, Tigers. David Price briefly played for both teams. He would work here. Jack Morris, who I did mention the previous video, he would work. Um, wonder if I can do better than Jack Morris, who I think you know what, I did throw Jack Morris in. I think he was just under 10%. So that one I also knew. Not that the grid's not already busted, but and this is my second time playing, so it's kind of cheating anyway. Blue Jays and Rangers. I I think Henkin might have played with the Rangers. I know he played with the Orioles and the Cardinals in there. Actually, not even saying that one with a ton of confidence either. Um, let's see. Mike Napoli was traded from the Blue Jays to the Rangers, but he would not work here because he didn't actually ever play for the Blue Jays. He was traded from the Angels to the Blue Jays in exchange for Vernon Wells, and then flipped to the Rangers before he'd ever played a game. So that one, of course, wouldn't work. Um, yeah, let's just do our thing. Let's just go around the horn a little bit. With those early '90s Blue Jays teams. Um, Figure you got Pat. Oh, you know who? I don't know. Let me just do this thing and then see if I can come up with someone. Because let's see, Pat Borders. Um, on the plate, John Olerud at first base. You got Joe Carter. I don't think he ever played for the Rangers. Roberto Alomar never played for the Rangers. Kelly Gruber never played for the Rangers, at least as far as I know. Oh, I got one. I got a okay one. I don't know if it's great, but actually, no. I was this the Rangers or was it the Cardinals? Now I'm second guessing myself. I don't think Hanky played for the Rangers. I think yeah. I think I'm confusing him and Joe Nathan. Um, back to the Diamond. Let's see here. We got Pat Sprague was on that team. Alex Gonzalez floated around a lot. Um, Devon White, Ricky Henderson ever played for the Rangers. Oh, does Jose Batista work? He's not on that team. I skipped ahead, but does he work? Did he briefly play for the Rangers and then get punched out by their second baseman? I want to say he did. I want to say he did. Nope. Nope. Got that one wrong too. All right. Well, I'm still good. This is still going to be uh interesting to play because I want to see if I can get some of these. These are definitely tough. Um, Tigers and Mets. Let's go to that one. Let's see how we do here. Um, Tony Clark, did he ever play for the Mets? These are tough. These are tough. Um, Yeah, I'll go around just with the I guess the late 90s Mets and see if I can come up with anyone. Um Figure you got late 90s Mets, right? So I don't think Todd Hundley, Mike Piazza, they're not gonna work. Olerud again isn't gonna work. Let's see. Oh, Edgar Alfonso is not going to work. Robin Ventura is not going to work. Ray Ordonez doesn't work. Bernard Gilkey doesn't work. Lance Johnson doesn't work. Uh, Brian McRae, I don't think he works. What about Damian Easley? Did he manage to play for both teams at some point? Not remembering. Not remembering. This grid is shockingly tough. I've already messed up twice. This is a little bit of humble pie for me. Um, all right, so I'm not able to come up with them that way. What about the 84 Tigers? You got Lou Whitaker, you got Kirk Gibson, you got Alan Trammell. Whitaker and Trammell played their whole careers with Detroit. I guess at this point I might as well just go with Jack Morris. Actually, let's see how David Price does. Let's see how many people remember he was with both teams. A lot of people. So this is not going to be a strong one. I'll throw down a guess for the Mets and the Tigers. And then we'll see. If I have guesses left over, I'll go down here or here because I could get these. Cone, Clemens, done. Um, really surprised that this is so challenging for me to come up with. It seems like they would would share talent here and there. Um, yeah, let's see. Maybe just throw a guess out for Tony Clark. What about Billy Hunter? He ever play for the Mets? Roger Cedeno, did he ever play for the Tigers? Those players are very, very similar. Melvin Nieves, he kicked around for a little bit. Um, Granderson will work here. Granderson gets 10%. There's got to be I gotta be able to get this one, and then I'll just take one of these 200 strikeout people. Um, for the Blue Jays and Mets, late 90s Blue Jays. Oh, sorry, it's not Blue Jays and Mets, it's Blue Jays and Rangers. I was about to throw down Carlos Delgado. I must be really struggling here. Go with Alex Gonzalez because he hopped around a lot. Um, yeah, a lot of my. What about Otis Nixon? Did he ever play for both teams? I know he played for the Expos. I don't know if ever played for the Blue Jays. Seems to me, maybe he just made the last out against the Blue Jays in the '92 World Series. He also did that. I'm just wondering if that's it. I'm gonna go Otis Nixon. It seems to me in the late '90s he bounced around and got to the Blue Jays. He did. All right. So I got one nice low rarity score out of, well, I guess that's my third one. Um, as far as these, I guess since I've already lost anyway, I'm gonna make an educated guess on on Jerry Koosman here. And otherwise I would probably go with I went with Cone and got 4% the last time. So, when I played this before. So let's do him here. Oh, it worked. Cool. Tom Seaver is the most popular. Koosman takes 2%, so that was actually a better guess. Um, let's let me just look at because I struggled so much on this one. Over 100 people played for these teams. And let's see if we can get some Rico Carty. That's a fun name. That's a fun name. Ooh, Jeff Fry, he's real active on Twitter. Tom Henke was right. I should go on with Tom Henke. But I was wrong on the years. I was thinking of St. Louis. I think he played his final year in '95 with the Cardinals, but he did play for the Rangers. in there. It looks like he had a couple stints. Candy Maldonado. He's actually the cousin of a friend of mine. I'm actually gonna play fantasy football with him in a little bit. Um, did not know that. I knew he played for the Brewers. I think the Giants. Oh, Semien, yeah. Ruben Sierra, that's always good. Justin Smoke, I should have gotten. I knew that. I did not realize Matt Stairs of all his teams ended up with the Rangers. But I'll keep that in my back pocket. Yeah, there's some names here. There's definitely some names I should have gotten. How about Tigers and Mets? Since I went with a pretty obvious one there. Willie Blair, he's gotten me before. Dotel, I should have abided by rule one. When in doubt, go with Octavio Dotel. Austin Jackson, who replaced Curtis Granderson in center field. Would have been a good one. Definitely some names. Definitely some names. Yeah, Fernando Vina. I didn't know that. Former Brewer. All right, so these were probably two of my absolute worst ones played back to back. I'm just gonna post this video. All there is to the other video is I pick Ben Sheets and he to the bottom right one and from there I've already lost. So um anyway, this is always fun even when I mess up. I have a lot of fun playing this game. So the only reason I didn't post the other video was I just hadn't walked through any of the others and demonstrated my thought process. So I thought it made for terrible content. So, as always, even when I screw up, the book is brought to you by Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. Thanks for playing, and I'll try to do better tomorrow. Take care, everyone.